It was the silence that got to me first. My sat-nav had given up the ghost about 20 minutes prior, and I'd taken a wrong turn somewhere in the depths of the Yorkshire Dales. I was lost, properly lost, in a way you don't get in the city. The kind of lost where the world shrinks to the bubble of your own headlights. The road was a single lane, hemmed in by ancient, crumbling dry stone walls on either side. And the fog. It wasn't normal fog. It was a thick pea souper that seemed to swallow the light whole, leaving me with a diffuse, yellowish glow that reached maybe 10 feet ahead. I was crawling along at 15 miles an hour, my knuckles white on the steering wheel, straining to see the edge of the tarmac. There was no sound, no wind rustling the barren fields, no distant hum of another engine, not even the scuttle of some night creature. It was a dead, muffled silence, like the whole world was holding its breath. My own car felt like a metal coffin. That's when I saw him, a figure, standing just at the limit of my headlights. My heart leapt into my throat. He was a tall, gaunt man in a long, dark coat, his face pale and indistinct in the gloom. His arm was raised, not in a frantic wave, but in a slow, deliberate hitchhiker's gesture, his hand held perfectly still. Every instinct screamed at me not to stop, but another part, the decent human part, argued. It was freezing. The man looked soaked. What kind of person leaves someone out in this? I slowed the car to a stop a few feet past him. The interior light felt dangerously bright. I leaned over and pushed the passenger door open. "Get in," I said, my voice tight. "You must be freezing." He didn't say a word. He just moved, his footsteps making no sound on the wet road. He slid into the passenger seat, bringing with him the smell of damp earth and old stone. He pulled the door shut with a soft, final thud. I drove on, the tension in the car thicker than the fog outside. "Rough night to be out walking," I said, trying to break the silence. He didn't respond. I glanced over. He was sitting bolt upright, staring straight ahead through the windscreen. His clothes were old-fashioned, a heavy wool coat that looked decades out of date. Water dripped from his dark hair, but he didn't shiver. He didn't seem to breathe. A cold dread, entirely separate from the night air, began to creep up my spine. "Where are you headed?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Slowly, so slowly, his head turned towards me. His face was hollow, his eyes deep-set and dark. His lips parted, and a voice, dry and rasping like dead leaves scraping on stone, filled the car. Just to the end of the road. I snapped my eyes back to the windscreen, my foot pressing harder on the accelerator. The car picked up speed, but the fog seemed to cling to us, refusing to let us go. I could feel his gaze on the side of my face, a cold spot like a draft. I dared another glance in the rearview mirror. The back seat was empty. I looked at his reflection in the glass of the passenger window. There was no one there. My blood ran cold. I could see him perfectly clearly with my own eyes, sitting right beside me, a solid presence. But in the reflection, nothing. Just an empty seat. I began to tremble, my breath coming in short, sharp gasps. I had to get him out. Now. I think this is as far as I go, I stammered, my voice shaking uncontrollably. And this was actually the first time I've ever had anyone trespass, at least that Elle know of. I mean, Elle lived pretty far from other houses, and there were no sidewalk or anything near my house. So anyone walking around this close had to know what they were doing.